This is why I think you could possibly join a cult. Yes, even you. I'm sure you know what a cult is, but if not, I'll explain it. Imagine you're scrolling through your feed or walking down the street and you come across a group of people that just seem to connect on a different level. They're all about community, understanding, and almost always pitch some ideal world scenario that sounds like it's straight out of a utopian novel. Now picture this. Out of the group, there's one person who everyone listens to and is held on a pedestal. That is the leader of the group, and in most cases, the founder. These types of leaders are as charismatic as they come and know how to talk the talk. They've got this way of making you feel seen, like you're the only one in the room, and suddenly, the ideas they're spitting at you don't seem so out there. It's like they're speaking your language, and through that they keep you up at night, by targeting your hopes and your fears. But it's not just the leader, it's the whole group. They've all got this intense bond that's kind of magnetic. You start hanging out with them, and before you know it, you're a part of this tight-knit circle that feels more like a family than your actual family. And it feels great. They've seemingly got your back, have answers to questions you didn't even know you had, and push a sense of belonging that's unmatched. But here's where it goes bad. That freedom and acceptance they sold you on, well, it starts to feel more like chains. And there's this subtle shift from being uplifted to being controlled. And the scary part is, it's all under the guise of loyalty and unity. Before you know it, you're in too deep, following directions that don't even align with who you thought you were or who you thought everybody else was around you. So, as you can imagine, cults are manipulative and dangerous. They play on the basic human need to belong and to believe in something greater. But the price is expensive. Your freedom, your identity, and in some cases your safety. It's all a bad trip you don't ever want to go on. And this isn't a brand new concept either. They've been around since the days of Egypt, and somehow to this day cults still exist, even after some terrible events that took place in our modern history. But no matter the timing or circumstances of the cult, the creation, manipulation, and demise of its followers all trace back to those who consider themselves the leader. This is Jim Jones, a guy with a preacher's charm and a dictator's agenda, convincing his followers they were building paradise in the jungles of Guyana. He painted this picture of a utopian community in Guyana, a place where equality wasn't just a dream and everyone had each other's backs. It sounded like the perfect escape from the chaos of the modern world, a sanctuary in the middle of nowhere. But here's the twist. Once you were in, getting out wasn't exactly on the menu. Jones, with his persuasive pull, started bending minds and twisting wills. That paradise? It quickly morphed into a cage, with Jones holding the only key. The rules got stricter, the freedom narrower, and the place started feeling more like a high-security prison than a haven of peace and love. Word began to get out, and the followers, along with their family members, were starting to have real concerns. So much so that they sent reports to various government officials. This led to Jones forcing all of the followers to sign a community letter. Things were obviously getting sketchy. As the utopian facade began to crumble, Congressman Leo Ryan of California took notice of the distressing reports emerging from the Jonestown compound. Concerned about the welfare of his constituents, who had family members entangled in the People's Temple, Ryan decided to lead a fact-finding mission to Jonestown in November 1978. Accompanied by journalists and concerned relatives, Ryan aimed to investigate the conditions and potentially offer a way out for those who wanted to leave. The visit started on a hopeful note, with Jones presenting a facade of harmony and contentment. However, the reality soon surfaced as several members discreetly expressed their desperation to leave with Ryan. The situation escalated quickly when Ryan and his delegation, now with defectors in tow, made their way to the airship to return home. In an unfortunate turn of events, they were ambushed by gunmen loyal to Jones. Congressman Ryan, 3 journalists, and 1 defector were killed in the attack, marking a shocking escalation in the Jonestown tragedy. This event at the airstrip was the grim precursor to something even more horrifying. Jim Jones knew his time was running up. He knew there were consequences to his actions. So he orchestrated one final devastating act. He made them drink Kool-Aid, but not ordinary Kool-Aid. No, what they drank was poison. That infamous drink wasn't just a symbol of loyalty, it was the curtain call on a tragedy that would go down in history. Over 900 lives were lost, a chilling testament to the power of persuasion in the hands of someone who lost their way. But imagine a scenario where everyone is so mind-washed that they never even began to question their decisions. That scenario is Heaven's Gate, a group so captivated by the cosmos, they believe the key to salvation was hitching a ride on a comet. Led by Marshall Applewhite, a creepy-looking dude with a gaze as compelling as his narrative, they were convinced that shedding their earthly containers aka their bodies, would elevate them to a higher existence among the stars. Applewhite, with his mix of spiritual and sci-fi enthusiasm, crafted a tale that was nothing short of cinematic. He convinced his followers that Earth was about to be recycled, wiped clean, and their only shot at survival was to transcend their physical forms. The group, donned in their identical black outfits and Nike sneakers, saw themselves not as ending their lives, but as shedding their earthly shells for a journey that trailed the Halley-Bopp comet. This wasn't just a leap of faith. It was a devastating jump into the unknown, fueled by a blend of mysticism and extraterrestrial lore. And how did they make this jump possible? Just like Jonestown, only this time it was in applesauce. The tragic poisoning of 39 members in a mansion in San Diego was a stark, eerie conclusion to their quest for transcendence. It's a story that's honestly hard to believe. It's sad how one charismatic leader can steer an entire group of people towards an unimaginable fate. And even after all that, somehow, their website is still up and running. Crazy. But these are pretty known and dated examples. Surely there's no such thing as a cult going on right now, right? Wrong. In more recent times, there was the roller coaster ride that is the Twin Flames universe. It all started when Jeff Ian and Megan Plante hit it off online back in 2012. They tied the knot and started yapping on about this intense notion that they're each other's twin flames. They ride this wave, launching Twin Flames Universe, kicking off with a blog that snowballs into this massive online haven where folks can dive into finding their own Dream Plus Ones. The blog, which is still up and a part of their broader online platform, delves into the various topics related to Twin Flames and the journey to finding one's ultimate partner, which seems nice. But then, everything hits the fan. They roll out Twin Flame Ascension School, featuring a mirror exercise that's all about matching the feelings and emotions of your twin flame, essentially promoting fake emotions to ensure you are in line with your twin flame at all times. This obviously set off some wild dynamics, with folks going to extremes to link up with their destined twin flames, sparking some serious relationship issues. As the community kept growing larger and larger, Jeff and Megan, who goes by Shalia now, started playing matchmaker within their followers, pushing people into these divine pair-ups that were messing with their heads, especially around personal identities. Despite the whole all about love and cosmic connection spiel, the real motives were more about control, cash, and keeping everyone on a tight leash, with members shelling out big bucks for courses that often did more harm than good. They even went as far as to concoct a church of union, hiring success stories from blogs to run it, dialing up the cult vibes even more. Luckily, many of the members were able to break out of the digital cult after allegedly sustaining numerous mental health issues and traumas. But the group still remains active today with 67,000 active members on Facebook. This whole Twin Flames universe saga proves you don't need some remote compound or mansion to run a cult that's got all the classic hallmarks of control, influence, and manipulation. There are endless examples I could give you, but I'm sure you get the idea. If you want me to deep dive into the countless other cults, let me know down below. Why does this happen? Why do regular people like you and me drop everything and follow these seemingly insane people? You see, these cult leaders, they're masters of manipulation, playing on the strings of your mind with expert precision. They've got this ability to tap into your deepest desires and fears, twisting them to fit their narrative. And most importantly, they're power hungry, selfish, and embody the definition of a god complex. As crazy as it sounds, you could unknowingly find yourself in a cult. I mean, most people don't believe they're in a cult when they're in one, but it's pretty simple. If you associate with a group of people that start to cut you off from your friends and family, or push you to follow their rules and beliefs without ever questioning them, well, it's either a cult in the making, or you're too deep, or they might just be terrible people. But if it is a cult, the sad reality for most is that you might not notice that your freedom is taken away until it's too late, leaving you trapped in a cage you didn't see being built around you. What are your thoughts on this topic? I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, consider hitting the subscribe button to never be late to the party. As always, bear with me.